March 11th, 1945. Convent of the Sacred Heart, Posen, occupied Poland. 3:17 a.m. The convent slept under a heavy blanket of snow, but Sister Maria Antonina did not. Her cell was a narrow stone box on the third floor, its single window frosted over, the air thick with the chill that seeped through cracks in the mortar. She lay fully dressed on the thin pallet, habit pulled tight around her like armor, staring at the shadowed beams overhead. Sleep had fled weeks ago, chased away by the rumble of trucks beyond the walls and the muffled cries that sometimes echoed from the courtyard at dawn. Posen, once Poznan, the proud Polish city, had become a fortress in retreat. The Red Army pressed from the east, their artillery a distant thunder that shook the foundations every few nights. The Germans had turned the convent into a command post 6 months earlier, evicting the orphans first, then the sisters from their better rooms. Now, the Sacred Heart fed 50 SS officers. Sturmbannführer Heinz Vogel and his staff quartered in the old dormitory, their boots trampling the cloister flagstones from dawn to dusk. Maria had turned 42 that winter, though the mirror in the washroom showed a woman aged beyond it. Grey streaking her dark hair under the wimple, lines etched deep around eyes that had seen too much. Before the war, she had taught catechism to children in the parish school, her voice steady as she recited the Beatitudes. "Blessed are the meek," she would say, watching small hands fold in prayer. The war had tested that meekness, year after grinding year. It began in 1939 with the invasion, panzers rolling through the streets, Luftwaffe droning overhead. The convent became a hospital at first, then a refuge for the displaced. By 1941, the trains started, endless columns snaking toward the camps, prisoners in striped rags marching past the north gate. Maria served soup to the guards then too, silent as they joked about quotas and resettlements. God had seemed distant even then, a voice lost in the wind. But January 17th, 1945, broke something permanent. She remembered every detail, as if etched with acid. Snow had fallen thick that morning, muffling the world. A column of Jewish prisoners trudged by, perhaps 200, their breath fogging in the -20 air. The girl was near the end, 20 at most, thin as a rail, her yellow star frayed at the edges. She stumbled on an icy patch just outside the gate, knees buckling, no strength left to rise. Maria had been fetching water from the pump, bucket heavy in her hands. She watched from the shadow of the archway, heart pounding. The SS guard, young, blonde with a face like any farm boy's, stepped out without haste. Pistol drawn, no command given. One shot. The girl's head snapped back, blood spraying pink across the snow, flecking the convent wall like obscene roses. Her body jerked 3 times, legs kicking feebly, then stilled. One hand remained curled, as if grasping for the iron gate inches away. The guard holstered casually, stamped snow from his boots, and walked straight into the kitchen. "Bread," he said in broken Polish, sitting at Maria's table. She sliced it for him, fingers numb, the oven's warmth mocking her. He ate without a word about the body outside, which lay until dusk before a cart hauled it away. That night, Maria knelt before the crucifix in the chapel until her knees bruised the stone. "Why, Lord? Why silent?" No answer came. The trains rolled on. From that day, the vial waited. She found it in the infirmary 2 weeks later. Arsenic trioxide, stocked for rat poison, but potent for men. Sister Clara, the apothecary, had whispered its uses once, eyes darting to the door. Maria measured doses in secret, testing on scraps of bread, watching them dissolve. Too little sickened, too much left grit. Perfect was 150 grams for 50 bowls. Now, at 3:17 a.m., she rose. The convent stirred faintly. A cough from down the hall, the creak of a guard's patrol. She slipped into the corridor, candle shielded in her palm, shadows dancing on the walls like ghosts of the dead. The infirmary door was unlocked. The sisters had long since stopped hiding anything from the occupiers. The vial gleamed on the shelf, half full. She poured it into a porcelain bowl, covered it with cloth, and returned to her cell. No prayer, just resolve. 5:47 a.m. The bells did not ring for lauds that morning. The Germans had forbidden it months ago, claiming the sound carried too far and unsettled the troops. The courtyard lay in dim grey silence, snow stamped flat by boots and truck tires. Beyond the walls, artillery growled east, a constant reminder of the closing vice. Maria stood alone in the kitchen, sleeves rolled, hands raw from cold water. Iron pots breathed steam, turning her face damp. Once this room fed orphans and pilgrims. Now it nourished the enemy. 50 SS men ate here thrice daily. They joked at her table, wiped grease with linen napkins stolen from the sacristy, then stepped out to their duties. Roll calls, executions, the grim arithmetic of occupation. The vial's contents waited behind folded towels on the apothecary scale shelf. At 2 a.m. she had weighed it precisely, grains balanced against brass weights, candle flame flickering, her fingers steady, hatred heavier than metal. 1 full bowl per man. Organ failure in 30 minutes. Dead by noon. The soup boiled now. Carrots, potatoes in brown broth. Bay leaf hint. Sisters would get black bread and weak coffee. The quartermaster decreed it so. Maria uncovered the bowl. White mound gleamed. Lips moved. No prayer. 5 years of pleas unanswered. Trains, columns, the girl. She tipped her wrist. Powder streamed into the royal, vanishing in 3 seconds. Tasteless. Odourless. She stirred. 1, 2, 3. 300 clockwise turns, shoulder aching. Even mix. No accidents. Each rotation answered a name from courtyard lists. The door was closed, not locked. SS passed freely, calling her the Crow for her habit and grey eyes. 6:12 a.m. Latch clicked. Sturmbannführer Hans Keller entered, filling the frame. 32. Tall black uniform gleaming silver runes catching light, Luger holstered. Bavarian features, strong jaw, close-cropped hair, but eyes tired, red-rimmed from radios and coffee. He craved coffee now. Maria stirred on. Steam blurred her. Keller paused, gaze adjusting. Soup smelled normal. Carrots, potatoes. Sister, in German. No answer. Boots heavier on tile. Shoulders straighter than yesterday. No hunch. Busy morning, reaching for coffee pot. Half-turn nod, spoon circled. He poured, drank standing, watched salt scatter, then quick motion. White grains? Flour? Blinked. Steam hid. You cook for killers, sharp. Testing. Hand paused. Eyes met. First, in 5 years. You eat like men. Flat-polished German. Fearless. Words hung heavy. Kitchen shrank. Mug down hard. Coffee sloshed. Careful none. Back to stirring. Faster. Keller lingered. Unease rising. Grains calm superstition like father's saint tales. Pushed away. Door clicked shut. Barracks sounds filtered. Maria finished count. Wiped hands. Gate memory surged. Snow pink. Twitch. Bread served. No more. Flashback. Keller's shadow. 1939, 1945. Keller wasn't always SS. Bavaria, 1939. Pastor father thundering against Reds. Hitler as saviour. Hands enlisted at 26. Idealism burning. Eastern Front. Villages torched on orders. Screams haunting nights. Father's letter. 1944. Murderer. Repent. Burned it. Posen. Routine until the girl. Bread after. Nun's silence mirrored his growing void. 11:03 a.m. Bell clanged. Sisters ghosted corridors. Maria wheeled turines, metal rattling. Refectory. 50 black uniforms at oak table. Vogelhead. Thin lips. 48. Death warrant signer. Muller, red-faced drunkard. Brandt, 24, eager for leave. Laughter on Red Army, boasts of holding. Maria ladled. Vogel full steam, Müller crude grin, Brandt quick, quiet corner man last. Door crack, watched spoons clink. Vogel on discipline, Müller loud, Brandt seconds. 11:42 a.m. Brandt's spoon clattered. Clutch table, face grey. Got! Lurched past Crack, eyes pleading hers. Gone. Vogel frowned. Boy can't hold. Müller laughed short. Captain pushed bowl. Heavy. Chaos brewed. 11:42 a.m. Lieutenant Brandt's spoon hit the oak floor and spun like a dying insect, the metallic clatter slicing through the refectory's midday chatter like a gunshot. Every head turned. Brandt clutched the table edge, knuckles bone white, his boyish face, barely 24, with freckles still fading from some Bavarian summer, collapsing inward. Cheeks hollowed, lips peeled back from teeth in a grimace of confusion, turning to terror. Got. Hilfmir, he whispered, the words dissolving into a wet, strangling rasp. He staggered upright, chair toppling with a crash, and lurched toward the door, straight past the two-finger crack, where Maria watched, breath held like a prayer unspoken. His eyes locked on hers for one endless instant, wide as a child's, pleading, utterly void of comprehension. What was this? Why his gut? Why now, when home leave was whispered for next week? Then he was gone, vanishing into the corridor shadows, retching sounds echoing back like accusations. The officers paused, spoons suspended midway to mouths. Sturmbannführer Heinz Vogel at the table's head frowned, his narrow face tightening like a noose drawing shut. 48 years of signing death warrants had schooled him in discipline. A boy's weakness was beneath notice. The pup can't hold his drink from last night, he muttered in clipped German, returning to his bowl with deliberate calm. Steam curled under his nose. The soup tasted of carrots, potatoes, normalcy. Captain Müller beside him barked a laugh, too loud, red face sweating alcohol, but it died in his throat, aborted by a sudden twist, low in his belly. Around the long oak table, unease rippled like wind over still water. 50 black uniforms shifted on benches, worn smooth by centuries of monks. A major, with a dueling scar on his cheek, pushed his bowl an inch away, fork tapping porcelain. This broth sits heavy today. Too much salt? Beside him, a staff sergeant, 35, father of 3 in Dresden, swallowed once, twice, feeling the liquid settle wrong, like lead in pipes. Perhaps the nuns skimped on meat again, he joked weakly, but his hand trembled, reaching for bread. 11:45 a.m. Müller broke first. His bull neck purpled as he gripped his throat, spoon clattering from claw-like fingers. Verdammt! Was ist das? He choked, doubling over the table. Vomit surged in a thick, involuntary wave, staining the pristine white tablecloth and splattering his tunic front. The sour reek cut through bay leaf steam like a slap, spreading fast. Beside him, the dueling scar major convulsed, back arching off the bench, heels drumming floorboards. His bladder let go in a dark bloom against wool trousers, shame flickering in his eyes before pain erased it. Black foam gathered at his mouth's corners, bubbling with each desperate breath, lungs starving for air that turned to fire. Panic bloomed outward, chairs scraping back in cacophony. "Gift!" someone screamed, raw, animal from a throat trained only for orders. Vogel lurched to his feet, one hand clawing his own neck, nails raking thin red lines into flesh. "Poison! The kitchen! Seize the nun!" His voice cracked like brittle ice. Legs buckled, but he caught the table edge, overturning a tureen in the process. Soup cascaded across oak, soaking orders from Berlin, medals clinking into the flood. Men tore at collars until buttons popped. One officer, a quiet accountant type who tallied deportations, curled fetal on the floor, whispering, "Anna, kinder." From a life in Munich, pleas lost in chaos. Another, Vogel's adjutant, pen still in hand from morning reports, clawed his eyes as vision blurred, begging incoherently for a doctor, for God, for anything. The quiet man in the corner, bowl 50 half empty, thrashed silently now, eyes bulging red as unseen kidneys shut down, his lifelong stare at the crucifix, turning to accusation. Maria pressed her eye to the door crack, fingers digging wood splinters into palms. 47 writhed where seated or fallen. 3 latecomers, Vogel's aides, boots still snow-dusted, stared frozen, bowls untouched. Among them, Keller, half bowl from kitchen earlier, gut cramping vice-tight, vision doubling with fever sweat. But 3 spoonfuls held, not enough to drop a man of his frame. Not yet. He pushed forward through bodies, ignoring agony, eyes locking on her grey habit-slipping corridor ward. Purpose, not panic. Her heart hammered. Slow drum, triumph, laced terror. They fall, as she fell. But God's silence roared louder now. Had she become the guard? Hands shook. She clenched them, slipping away as moans peaked. 12:02 p.m. Guards burst the refectory's far door, rifles levelled, faces paling at the tableau. "Herr Sturmbannführer!" a sergeant bellowed, shoving through tangled limbs. Polish medics, conscripted, trembling, followed with kits, dragging victims floorward, forcing fingers down throats, pumping stomachs via tubes and bellows. Too late. Arsenic-laced veins, blackening livers, stuttering hearts. Air thickened copper blood tang, rot of failing flesh. Vogel, propped on a bench, clawed a medic. "The nun! Kitchen! Find her!" Slurred to froth. Keller ignored gutfire, navigating chaos. Saw her. Purposeful stride to cellars. No flight. Retribution's architect. Luger drawn, he followed. Boots pounding stone despite sweat-cold brow. Pain doubled him mid-stride, straightened. Convent labyrinthine, cold passages, weak bulbs, refectory moans echoing. Wet footprints gleamed ahead. Snow from her shoes. Left corner. Cellar stairs. Torchlight below. Descending, pistol heavy. Rats fled. Pipes dripped. Damp earth air. Barrel aside. Wall-hole drainage tunnel. Man tight. Knees dropped. Crawled mud-sucking uniform. Arsenic clawed deeper. Vision swam. Father's church. Burned. Traitor letter. Ditch emergence. Knee snow. North footprints. Fresh. Maria ran. Arm bundle. Civilian dress. Kowalski papers. Widow. Seamstress. Resistance farmhouse. 3-kilometer pines. Breath fogged. Branches clawed habit. Rear silhouette. Keller. Luger. 50 meters. Spinning world. Trigger squeeze. Crack. Snow erupted 10 feet left. Dove. Rolled. Surged. Ran zigzag. Keller staggered. Second shot wild. Legs buckled. Will propelled. Guards seal convent. Nuns walled. Town torched. Her fire. His quench. Tracks north. Snow thickened. Blurring, yet trailing. Collision brewed white silence. 12:17 p.m. Tree line. Knee snow. Lungs burned. Maria zigzagged pines. Bark stung cheek blood trickle. Footsteps relentless. Keller ditch slipped. Mud boots filled. Closing. Half bowl arsenic barbed wire gut, yet walking. Prints clear. North. Fleeing thoughts. Not enough. 3 lived. Bundle heavier. Papers crinkled. Escape or martyr? Keller's mind fractured. Girl gate snow pink, haunted since January bread. Father's voice. Murderer. Poison truth mirror. We poison world. 12:32 p.m. Farmhouse smoke thin chimney. Door creak. Yannick opened. 45. Stalingrad scarred cheek. Rifle slung. Kowalski. Snow scan eyes. SS dead. Soup. Convent. Maria gasped. Threshold collapse. Pulled in. Door slam. How many? Water poured. Bread handed. Vengeance wind screams heard. Frost window crack pier. Snow crunch. Officer follows. Knife drawn bundle glint. Kill. Yannick's scar twist head shake. Interrogate. Orders? 12:41 p.m. Door exploded. Keller framed. Luger levelled. Ashen sweat. Hands up. Yannick rifle snap. Click. Jammed. Keller fired. Yannick's shoulder red burst. Grunt drop. Maria lunged. Wrist slash Luger skitterboards. Throat grab iron fingers despite pain. None. Squeeze. Groin knee. Doubled release. Yannick rose, rifle cleared, temple barrel. Talk, now. 12:49 p.m. Barn shadows, hay strewn. Keller post slumped, twine-bound wrists, bit skin, drip blood dirt pool, dark. Maria, opposite knife hand, breath ragged eyes, steel. Yannick shoulder bandage, shirt strip, rifle forehead level. Damp wood, gun oil, wound tang. Talk, Yannick growled, scar pain tight. Reprisals ordered? Trucks? Keller blood spit straw. Gut wrung cloth. Voice steady. Untie. Dawn town burns. Vogel lives. 200 poles square. Maria blade lantern catch closer step. Your Vogel. Death lists over soup. Nod slow. Eyes floor. 3 poison survived. Berlin wired. Nun's wall first. Rest. Pause. Fever sweat brow. Gate girl saw. January. Bread served after. Every night. Eyes. Maria freeze. Hilt white knife hand. Memory flash. Pink snow. Twitch body. Holster snap casual. You remember? Every order. Father. Murderer wrote. Burned letter. Crack not pain. Pastor son unravel Polish barn. Yannick rifle butt ribs crack hard. Wet cough double. Truth pig. Wait. Prove. Maria steel voice. Doubt flicker. 5 silence years break blood place. Keller headlift. Fever bright. False radio. Trucks north trees. Ambush. Yannick Maria glance. Hesitate. Nod. Twine saw pocket knife. Wrong move headshot. 12:49 p.m. Barn shadows. The air hung thick with the scent of damp hay, gun oil, and the sharp metallic tang of fresh blood. Keller slumped against a rough-hewn post, wrists bound tight with baling twine that bit deep into his skin, each drip from the knife slash on his wrist pooling dark on the dirt floor. Maria stood opposite, her knife still gripped in a hand that trembled, not from fear, but from the weight of what came next. Yannick, shoulder bandaged, with a ragged strip torn from his own shirt, levelled the rifle barrel inches from Keller's forehead, his Stalingrad scar pulling tight with every pained breath. Talk, Yannick growled again, voice low and gravelly, eyes narrowed to slits. Who ordered the reprisals? How many trucks rolling in? Names, routes, everything. Keller spat a glob of blood-flecked saliva onto the straw at his feet. His gut twisted like a wrung-out cloth under the arsenic's slow burn, but his voice held steady, edged with the defiance of a man who'd stared down Soviet artillery lines. Untie me first. Town burns at dawn if you don't. Vogel's alive. Barely. Orders straight from Berlin. 200 poles to the square, nuns lined against the wall as the opener. Maria stepped closer, the blade catching the dim lantern light in a cold gleam. Her grey eyes, usually veiled in silence, bored into him now. Your Vogel? The one who signed death lists over soup you slurped without a thought? Villages emptied, trains loaded, his pen, your table. Keller nodded slowly, his gaze dropping to the bloodied straw. Sweat beaded on his fevered brow, but it was memory, not poison, that cracked his voice. 3 survived the soup, me included. Wired orders hit an hour ago. Seal the convent, make examples. But I saw the girl at the gate. January snow. You served me bread after her body cooled outside. Every night since. Those eyes follow me. Maria froze, her knife hand whitening on the hilt. The memory hit like a fresh wound, pink snow against the convent wall, the girl's body jerking 3 futile times, the guard's casual holster snap before sitting for bread. 5 years of that image, night after night. You remember her, she whispered, voice flat as stone. Every order I gave after. Father's letter last autumn. Murderer, repent before God claims you. I burned it in the barracks stove. His voice broke, not from the rib cracked by Yannick's butt, but from the pastor's son unravelling in a Polish barn, far from Bavaria's church bells. Yannick swung the rifle butt hard into Keller's ribs again. A sharp crack echoed, bone protesting. Keller coughed wet, doubling over as far as the ropes allowed. Enough games, SS pig. Truth or your brains paint this wall. Maria raised a hand, sharp. Wait! Let him prove it! Her voice was steel, but doubt flickered in her chest. 5 years of God's silence breaking here in blood and shadow. Was this judgment, or just another killing? Keller lifted his head, eyes fever-bright with pain, and something raw. Radio a false report. Lure the trucks north into the trees. Ambush them clean. They come blind. Torches, rifles, no scouts. Yannick hesitated, glancing at Maria. Her nod was single, decisive. He sawed through the twine with his pocket knife, blade nicking skin. One wrong twitch, headshot, lead or die. 1:07 p.m., Wood's Edge. SS trucks growled through the thickening snow, 3 black beasts with chain tires churning drifts, headlights cutting weak yellow paths. Guards clutched torches against the early dusk, flames spitting sparks into the wind. Vogel's voice barked from the lead cab's window. "Nuns to the wall first! Burn the poison nest clean!" Keller stepped from the pines, coat flaps open, hands visible in surrender pose. Keller reporting late. Patrol held me. Nuns' tracks head north, fresh through the tree line. Resistance ahead. Vogel leaned out, face gaunt but alive, his bulk buying time against the arsenic. "The broth? You ate it too?" Half bowl in the kitchen. Cramps hit hard, but I'm walking. She's alone. No backup. Guards piled out. 10 men total. Rifles slung ready. Torches high. They shoved past Keller into the trees, boots crunching confident. Maria crouched deep in bushes, knife, breath ready. Yannick sighted his rifle from a fallen log. Keller's whisper carried the signal. Now! Maria struck first. Throat slash on the lead guard, hot blood silencing his gasp mid-breath. Yannick's rifle cracked twice. Clean headshots dropping the next 2 in red mist sprays against white bark. Keller scooped his snow-buried Luger, put 2 center mass into Vogel's chest as he exited the cab. The Sturmbannführer gurgled, clutching the doorframe, eyes bulging in betrayal. A subordinate turned executioner. Chaos exploded. Remaining guards wheeled, firing wild into shadows, bullets chipping bark, whining off trunks in ricochet screams. Keller took a round low in the leg, flesh tearing hot, but he dropped a 3rd man with point-blank fire. Maria gut-stabbed the 4th, twisting the blade as he folded with a gurgling fold. 5th charged bayonet forward. Yannick shattered his kneecap with precise shot, finished the head as he screamed down. 6th bolted zigzag. Maria's thrown knife caught neck mid-stride, dropping him twitching. Last 3 rallied. 1 torched dry bushes, flames licking needles fast. Yannick picked him clean. Another shotgun blasted Maria's cover, pellets shredding leaves. She rolled snowdive. Keller gut-shot him, point blank. The 10th raised trembling hands. Keller executed cold, skull bullet through forehead. 1:37 p.m., bodies steamed in the snowmelt, breath ghosts mingling with cordite smoke and pine sap. Vogel crawled, inching forward, fingers clawing frozen dirt trails. "Traitor! Himmler will," he wheezed, blood bubbling lips. Keller knelt heavy, Luger pressed firm to temple. "Mercy, as you never gave." Boom! Silence crashed down, wind-whipped pines the only witness. Yannick lowered rifle, breath fogging. "Town safe now?" For hours. Berlin reinforcements dawn. Keller tourniqueted his leg with shirt strips, wincing as blood-soaked straw-red hay nearby. Maria wiped blade clean in snow, flakes melting pink. "Why the switch? SS Oathbreaker to this blood." Poison cracked the lie. 50 elite dead, Führer raging at Himmler already, but I saw it clear. We lost years ago. Father, right all along. Distant engines rumbled south, faint but growing. 2:04 p.m., Convent Gate. Nuns lined shivering against the grey stone wall, habits whipping in the wind, 5 guards with rifles trained steady, fingers itching on triggers. Their faces were hard lines under Stahlhelms, orders clear. Any movement, fire. Yannick took sniper perch in the barn loft, barrel sighted through a crack, breath controlled like Stalingrad ghosts. Maria perched window high in the main building, knife gripped, white-knuckled, heart a slow drum of retribution. Keller approached open-palmed from the tree line, limping on his tourniqueted leg, the universal signal of compliance. Keller, report. Clear, the lead guard barked, rifle dipping fractionally. Bodies confirmed in the woods, all down, none included. His voice carried steady, laced with authority they still trusted. The guards relaxed a hair, barrels lowered inches. Yannick's shot cracked first. Skull burst in red spray, helmet spinning into snow. Keller charged low, Luger barking chest holes into the second guard's tunic. Maria leapt from the window ledge onto the third, knife plunging deep between ribs. The man gasped wet, dropping limp. Fourth lunged bayonet forward, blade parting Keller's arm flesh hot and clean. He smashed elbow to jaw with a crack. Followed Luger under chin, brains splattered stone. The fifth bolted for the gate, boots slipping ice. Yannick's leg shot, dropped him crawling. Maria stomped neck with a snap like dry branch. Nuns scattered screaming into the convent depths, habits trailing like fleeing shadows. The dining hall reeked unchanged. Flies buzzed over crusted remains, vomit pools reflecting lantern flicker. Mother Superior clutched Maria's sleeve in the chapel shadows, rosary beads clicking frantic. "Devil's work, child! Blood on holy ground!" "Saved you. All of you," Maria whispered, wiping blade on her apron, eyes distant. Keller snatched the dead guard's radio, thumbing transmit. Berlin base. Poison confirmed. Primary nun captured and executed on site. Situation contained. Static hissed back. Status on Vogel. Alive and secure. Orders to hold position received. Click. The lie hung clean. Outside, rumble grew. Trucks inbound. Engines growling over snow. 3:12 p.m. Attic hideout. Headlights swept the courtyard snow like searchlights. 20 SS disembarking in ordered ranks. Sturmbannführer barked. "Burn the poison nest! Full sweep!" Torches ignited. The barn blazed orange crackling, flames devouring hay and wood alike. Smoke billowed thick, stinging eyes. Keller peered from attic slats. "Wait for the head." The Sturmbannführer strode hallward, boots echoing, froze at corpse piles. "Arsenic sabotage. Full alert. Search every stone." Boots thundered stairs upward. Maria's knife grip whitened further, breath shallow. Keller uncoiled rope from rafters, dropped silent to landing. Slashed the Sturmbannführer's throat mid-turn, blood fountained arterial, body slumping gurgle. Guards rushed cluster. Yannick picked 3 headshots from loft, clean drops. Keller pistol whipped 2 into walls, finished kneeling. Maria heart-stabbed the 4th down stairwell. 5th shotgun blasted plaster chunks. She ducked roll. Keller gut-shot him howling. Last fled torch high into yard. Yannick dropped silhouette clean. More engines howled, distant north. Stolen SS trucks peeled south as decoy, taillights vanishing in flurries. 3:29 p.m. Barn ruins. Partisans slipped in. 8 men, rifles up, faces scarred by years of shadows. Leader Stefan, one-eyed from Stalingrad vulgar hell. "The SS pig still breathes? Convent wreaks victory or trap?" Maria stepped forward, blade sheathed. Vogel dead by his hand. Convent cleared. 50 poisoned. Guards down. Stefan levelled rifle to Keller's chest, eye gleaming hard. "Prove loyalty beyond words, traitor." Keller, leg throbbing fire, pulled silver cross-chain from neck. Polished, heavy, etched with Bavarian script. "Father's own. Pastor in Munich. I swear on it. End this war here. Mutinied for truth." Stefan's good eye narrowed, then lowered, barrel slow. "Red Army dawn push. Hide him deep. Berlin hunts deserters fierce." Tank rumble shook earth sudden. T-34 tread south. SS Panzers countering north. Shell whistled overhead. Barn wall exploded woodfire shower. Maria dragged Keller ditchward, mud-sucking boots. Yannick sniped gunner silhouette hatchfall. Tank hatch slammed. Engine roared past into night. 4:15 a.m., March 12th. Dawn, grey edge. Snow pink-streaked blood, old and new. Stefan spat frost. Berlin knows elites poisoned clean. Revenge division inbound full. Posen ash by noon. Keller groaned, leg bone glinting white through torn flesh. My chase started this storm. Surrender me. End clean. Maria knelt close, habit soiled. We end together. Your choice sealed it. Treads ground closer, dozens now. Partisans melted trees. Ward silent. Forest root cellar. 4:32 a.m. Lantern flickered mold-dank air. Keller bandaged crude. Strips tight. 2 days, if fever spares. Maria sat dirt floor, knife-heavy pocket. First doubt pierced. 5 silence years, now hands bloodied permanent. God watched. Pastor's son wore SS runes. Why the black? Her voice soft probe. Keller gripped, cross-palm gleam. 1939, idealism. Reds as devil, father thundered sin joining. Beat me parting. Front villages burned my orders. Gate girl first crack. Your bread after sealed doubt. Poison today broke rest. Stefan burst door. Berlin radio fury peaks. Himmler deputy dead with 50 elite. Reprisal wired. 10,000 Poles raised. Yannick window watch. Red Army shells inbound 2 hours. Katyushas sing soon. Keller fever weak. Hand me over. Buy peace. No, Maria firm. Chose light late. You walk it. 6:07 a.m. Posen streets smoked haze. SS panzers prowled. Loudspeakers blare. Poisoners surrender. City spared reprisal. Stefan trees perch. Attack suicide. Wait the tide. T-34 rumble south swelled. Katyushas whistled rocket salvo. SS tanks pivoted. Panicked. Battle joined. Explosions lit dawn sky tracers arcing red-green. 6:41 a.m. Posen burned pyre. SS retreated north, shattered. Partisans slipped south, opportunistic. Stefan final. U3 vanish. War cracks wide. Live ghosts. Keller walk impossible. Maria arm round. Yannick support other. Town edge ruins navigated. 7:22 a.m. Red Army patrol halt. Soviet lieutenant rifle high. Fascists halt. Maria papers thrust. Resistance corps. SS 50 poisoned convent. Lieutenant uniform I Keller. Shoot the black. Cross forward Keller. Mutineer true. Vogel hand killed. Lieutenant Nuns verified nod. West transport. Americans wait. 10:15 a.m. Allied lines jeep. U.S. Captain Hayes. Ohio twang 29. Nun hauls SS mutineer. Story beggars belief. Maria soup chase Vogel recounted measured. Hayes whistled low. Town saved wholesale. Medals rain. Justice suffices. Keller stockade bound. Maria Convent West faded. War capitulated May. October 18th, 1945. Nuremberg, Palace of Justice. Courtroom 600. Maria, black dress plain. Habit forsaken. Testified steel. Poisoned 50. God silent. 5 years trains gates. I spoke hammer. Names listed. Ghettos emptied. Villages ash. Snowgirl shot casual. Prosecutor Jackson grave. Murderous self-confessed? Yes. Their murder proceeded. Multiplied thousandfold. Judges leaned forward. Himmler suicided. Chained deputies stared venom pure. Keller entered prisoner stripes. Truth dawned her eyes steady. Mutinied full. Vogel executed own hand. Defense sneered. Traitor coward. Germany betrayed soul first. Father preached true. Hall silence. Gripped iron. November 3rd, 1946. Verdicts rang. Deaths decreed. Hangings dawn cold. Maria shadows watched. No joy. Hollow echo only. Keller 10 years iron. Released 1952. Bavaria. Church knelt dust. Cross father grave laid. Maria Warsaw orphans taught quiet. Told boy 10 once. God's voice took. Mine sounded thunder. Lost both. 1957. Heart claimed. 64. Unmarked grave nuns prayed silent. Posen, Poznan, rebuilt Phoenix. Square memorial etched. 50 SS names steel. Below inscription, Maria Antonina, soup chain reaction, thousands spared. 1992, Berlin files declassified yellowed. Führer rage scrawled, elite poisoned nun hand, unforgivable betrayal. Division diverted futile. Posen stood. Keller breathed, 1989 final. Grandson bedside. None mercy hate taught. God blood found mine. Empty chalice convent altar lingered. Memory alone filled brim.